Present. 180. 180's hot. Penny.
Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
Harry.
180. What is that?
Gains to the 45-yard line, and the Cleveland Browns first down.
Mike 46.
Present. 180. 180's hot. It's Penny. Gotta go. Red. 180. What is that?
From the icer, on the tackle. Gain is 1 yard. Second down 9.
Load 35. 35.
180. What is that?
Third down 9.
Space 35. DC.
Hey,
DC.
No. I got 180. Hey, Penny.
Same thing.
180. What is that?
Flag on the play.
Pass interference, number 28, defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
The penalty advances the ball to the 27-yard line. First and 10.
Present. 180. 180's hot. 180. What is that?
Stop by Bildor. And 7 yards. Second down, 3.
Present.
Rico.
180. 180's hot.
Rico.
Yeah.
180. What is that?
Raheem Sanders. Tackled by Tripp. Gain to the 17-yard line. Third down 1.
Rico. Hey, what's tight?
180. What is that?
The tackle by KJ Credit. The gain to the 6-yard line. And the Cleveland Browns first down.
talking about. Some of us do.
Some of us do.
Yeah, right. Read the news. Hassan Haskins from the 5-yard line. He'll bring that ball back out to the 25-yard line, and that's where the reigning AFC champions will set up shop. Tommy DeVito, well known to Giants fans. He made a couple of starts a couple of years ago, a few starts, and he was the belle of the ball for about half an hour.
Yeah.
He had his moments. He's now the backup. They got him last year off waivers. Did not see any action of him during the regular season. The backup to Drake May. From the 24. Running back, looking for room. Glenn Larison played his college ball at UC Davis, gained a 3.
I think the difference for DeVito this year is he was picked up by New England after camp. Talking to Josh McDaniels last night, he said, you know, the big thing is working with Tommy now. We had him throughout OTAs, throughout camp. He's really getting more comfortable, more familiar with the offense. I think the maturity is really shown. He had 8 starts in New York, but I think he's a different guy as a backup now here in New England.
We've seen a lot of him in preseason. He probably will play only one series tonight. He'll take off here and runs it out to the 31-yard line. It's not Josh McDaniels calling the plays tonight. It's Ashton Grant.
Yeah, Ashton Grant gets his opportunity coming back to Cleveland. Kind of a homecoming, so that was a nice reward by Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. Give him a chance. It's such a good thing. I was actually talking on the field before the game started with Zach Kerr, and he said, you know, before I became the coordinator last year, I had an opportunity in these preseason games. You see it all over the league. It gives these guys reps, and then eventually they become a coordinator, and they got some experience.
Pass is thrown and caught at the 41-yard line. And that is a first down. Kyle Williams in his second year out of Washington State was a 3rd-round pick last year, gained a 10, first down.
Al, this is what we're talking about with Tommy DeVito. Watch the 3 receivers to the right. It opens up, and look at one hitch, ball out. Like that ball is out well before his receivers coming out of his break, and that's what I'm talking about. I think there's more experience, more confidence in understanding where to go with the ball. It's allowing them to play much more faster and on time.
42.
On a draw and a pickup of about 2.5 by Larison, second down.
You know, whether you're playing starters or you're playing your backups, one thing Mike Vrabel made very clear to us, that he wants his team to find an identity. He said last year was last year, and I don't care if we're playing 2nd, 3rd, 4th string guys that will make the team, won't make the team. There's an expectation of controlling the line of scrimmage, making good decisions, and playing smart football.
2nd and 7. Play action. Everybody covered. He can run. He proves it right there again to the 44-yard line of Cleveland he goes. Stop by Masquerade. Here's Arnold.
Tommy, when he talked with us on the Zoom, the only time he really had a huge smile was when he said, you know, guys, last week when I got out there and scrambled, they had me at 19 miles an hour. He said, that's my personal best I've ever had in a game. And that time, again, going back to that same point, instead of waiting on that, he aborts, gets out, and gets out that back door for another first down with using those legs.
From the 45. Deep drop, good protection, going for it. Oh, right there, caught, touchdown. Kyle Williams, into the end zone he goes. Over D'Angelo Ross. So Williams got by him, pass was perfect.
Yeah.
And a point away from a tie game.
Yeah, and again, for Tommy DeVito, who's only not going to be playing much tonight, that's what you've seen throughout camp when he's gotten his opportunities. And how great is it if you're a Patriots fan? I know there's a lot of talk about A.J. Brown and Pop Douglas and Dobbs, but Kyle Williams, who flashed at times last year as a rookie, has had a great camp, and once again at the line of scrimmage is able to.
Keyshawn Boutte to Houston earlier this week. A lot of depth amongst that receiving corps. Borregales' kick is good, and with 8:20 to go in the opening frame, voice of an angel. Corley comes back and is stuffed at the 26-yard line. So each team with a touchdown drive on its first possession.
Well, Dylan Gabriel, like we saw from Tommy DeVito, with a great start. like I mentioned, the experience, the 63 career starts, the most by any quarterback in FBS history. Actually, in 24, he was third in the Heisman voting. He was in New York, so he's very talented. I think for him, when we were talking to him this week, I think it's just a matter of give me an opportunity to show what I can do in Todd Monken's offense, and he's done that in that opening drive.
Play fake, pump fakes, throws, caught, big gain here to the 46-yard line.
I tell you, Todd Monken, this is what you want to see. It's one thing to roll him out at 5'11", but he starts on his right, and then he works through the progressions, and he sits in the pocket comfortably. No panicking. You can see, waits for him to clear the linebacker, and then he makes that throw. And that's what everybody wants to see with Dillon Gabriel. Can he play from the pocket and see over the line to be able to make a throw? And that was a great example of doing that there.
With a grab by Larbadan out of South Carolina. To the outside. Sweep. And about a 6-yard pickup here, using Larbadan about half the plays on this second drive, and the first as well, obviously.
I've known Todd Monken for a long time as an assistant coach in the college game. He's obviously been up to the NFL, back to college. Was at Georgia, won a couple national championships with Kirby Smart, came to Baltimore, worked with Lamar Jackson. Really known as a kind of like a mad scientist when it comes to offensive football, and really works hard to be able to give his quarterback an advantage. We're seeing that tonight, even in a preseason game.
And Lamar Jackson for the last 3 years through the middle. Sanders a little shy of the first time. So Kevin Stefanski got fired after 6 years here. Winds up, of course, with the Atlanta Falcons. Now you had Monken with John Harbaugh in Baltimore, and then John gets let go. Winds up with the Giants, and Todd had to hang around a little while. He was being interviewed by Cleveland, but it was pretty clear that had he not gotten this job, he would have been the offensive coordinator with the Giants.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, and how about John Harbaugh kind of waiting, holding that spot just to kind of see how the interview went, and then finally he gets the green light, he gets the job here in Cleveland.
Running back now is Booth, but this is Gabriel keeping it, and Gabriel has him on the move again.
And again, with Gabriel, you're not going to ask him to do this all the time. This is zone read. He's reading the in man on the line of scrimmage, which is the rookie, Akis. Right there, he collapses down in the back, and a very good job of feeling comfortable. That's going back to his college days. Little zone read. You sprinkle this in from time to time. You saw 50 collapse down, pull it, pick up positive yards, and again, very much in control for a guy that's not had a lot of reps, not just in the field, but even in practice.
Play action, steps to his left, fires, right on the money again. This time it's Ben Patterson, rookie out of Texas Permian, 6'5", 220, makes the grab.
And this is what he did quite a bit when he was in college, just playing in rhythm. See the pressure, he felt it, stepped a bit to his right, again playing from the pocket, and another very accurate throw right on the money for a first down.
Sixth play of the drive. They've gone 56 yards to this point.
Yep.
Larbadan in motion, sets up on the right. Handoff. Nice little move to the left and a 4-yard pickup for Sanders, who's now carried the ball 6 times already for 29 yards.
And again, I know people are watching this saying, you know, it's a preseason game. We don't know a lot of the players on the field. But for a guy like Dillon Gabriel, who again hasn't had a ton of reps, this is a massive opportunity, not just to prove himself at Cleveland, but to put tape out there for the rest of the league to watch. And I'm just blown away by the command of this offense. He's been getting nothing but mental reps the entire camp. Comes out tonight, these first 2 series, and looks like he's been playing the entire preseason.
You just saw Shador and Watson on the sideline. That's right on the money, and to the end zone for a touchdown. Luke Flourier does it again, 3 in 2 weeks.
I mean, he's going to have more footballs in his trophy case. He's going to know what to do with. That's his 3rd football in 2 weeks. He's going to be able to take back to Menor. where he grew up right here in Northeast Ohio.
He'd like a few more in September, October, November, and December.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forget August.
And these guys are fighting for an opportunity to get on this roster. And you know, you get down to that 5th, 6th receiver, who's going to make it, who's not. There are going to be some tough decisions to make for Todd Monken and staff. But again, I go back to the command of Dylan Gabriel. He's 5 of 6, and he's opening couple drives. Command of the offense, 72 yards and 2 passing touchdowns.
Andre Schmidt for the point after. Only on Prime Video. Clear skies, upper 70s right now, 76 degrees in Cleveland. Browns opening up in Jacksonville. There's lots of enjoying the moment. Yeah.
You're on fire out there.
Yeah. Just don't take my job. The 3-yard line. Jermichael Hasty, who's been around, 6th year in the league, gets stopped up at the 29-yard line. So now we're going to see Tommy DeVito was supposed to play. They said 1 series, but they want to look at a little bit more of him. We're going to get Baron Morton, a 7th-round draft pick out of Texas Tech, perhaps sooner than later. In fact, we thought we'd see him on this series. They said the 2nd series, but they want Tommy to have 1 more spin at it. And stop there for a 1-yard gain is Hassan Haskins. The tackle.
It's their 1st-round draft pick out of Utah, the rookie, 6'6", 313-pound, 21-year-old Caleb Lomu. He's been bouncing around in these first few games because of the concerns of depth with some injuries, both on the left and the right side. And you know, he played right tackle in college. Good look there at Drake May. Will Campbell, the left tackle.
Get all the starters with the night off. Pass out here is incomplete. Intended for Larison. Both coaches agreed that they would sit the starters tonight. And that's the case over most of the league, except for like Vegas, where Mendoza's going to play tonight.
Yeah, I think that it's become a trend, obviously, throughout the league. And I think because of that, me personally, I think when you watch September football, I think it almost at times feels like it's a continuation of camp. You know, you see some sloppy football because you don't see a lot of tackling. A lot of these starters don't get a chance to, other than the joint practices, to get a lot of good looks. But that's the kind of the trend we've seen quite a bit across the league.
Deep drop, reads it, 3rd and 9, and it's dropped out here by Larison. So a punt for the first time. I think I mentioned Mendoza. They're playing tonight. He did not start. Cousins got the start. To be determined who starts on opening day. But you're talking about very few starters working tonight anywhere.
Yep. And here's a good look again at the rookie Lomu holding up there against Aiden Huntington. You know, one area that rookies a lot of times they you know, whether it's games up in front of them affecting their eyes or just sometimes just pure power of bull rush from an NFL defensive end. Time he held up just long enough.
So this is Matt Hawk, who they just picked up to punt, and he's in midseason form. Down to the 22-yard line, and bringing it back to the 27-yard line is Larbadan.
To play with a player like him, and I think we've had a lot of great additions, to the offense. And I think we're looking forward to getting out there and getting some live bullets, some live action. But I grew up a fan of his, and we played in the same offense in college, so we got to laugh a little bit about that. But we got some great pieces, and looking forward to seeing how it fits together.
Are you willing to throw a riskier ball when you know he's on the other end of that?
I mean, guys like AJ, they come up with it more times than not. So, he's made a lot of plays in his career and, scored a lot of touchdowns. So, I got a good connection with him building through training camp, and looking forward to, seeing what our guys, all our skills group does. I thought we got a great group of doing.
Now, your defense made life tough for everybody you played last season. What have you observed in terms of how they've elevated?
They make it tough for us in practice. That's the biggest thing. They're good up front. They're good in the secondary, and I think the biggest thing with them, they play together. They got great players at all 3 levels, so it's fun to watch our defense. I kind of sit over here and look on the iPad a little bit, but it's fun to watch our defense, especially at home with our crowd going. It's fun to watch.
Well, hey, Drake, appreciate you joining me. Happy early birthday to you, a couple days away, and a happy birthday to A.J. Brown's wife, Kelsey. You guys have the weekends off, so I hear some celebrations may be ahead this weekend. Back to you guys.
Kaylee, thank you. Unscripted television, so you have a 52-yard play in the middle of an interview. Sorry, folks. We don't have a take two. And then you have another pass here to Amani Marshall, and they're already down at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. Gabriel tries to cut it back the other way, cannot get around that corner and tackle back at the 17. But what you saw during the middle of the interview was a 52-yard pass caught by Ben Patterson. So right now you got 4th down, and in comes the field goal group.
Yeah, how classy a guy is Drake May. What a future he has, and one of the faces of this league. Great job last year. You can only imagine, but not just A.J. Brown, but Dobbs on the other side. 2nd year in this system. Trevion Henderson, Stevens. I mean, they're loaded.
Finished second to Matthew Stafford in the MVP race. Here's Schmidt now attempting this field goal from 35 out, and that one is good. So 3 scoring drives for every team this weekend around the National Football League. Pick fielded at the 3. Jermichael Hasty up to the 30-yard line. You talk about May. At one point, he was, I think, the favorite to win the MVP up until about December. Then he cooled off. Matthew Stafford got red hot, and Stafford, won the award. And of course, he deserved every bit of it. But what a second season, and then to get Brown and to get Dobbs
comes in.
Right.
And I think there's something about kind of going to that graduate level with this Josh McDaniels system in his 2nd year. In college, he never had the same coordinator. Alex Van Pelt, his rookie year, was the offensive coordinator. So this is the first time he's really had a chance to build and grow in the same system.
Here's Baron Morton now, and the receiver, it's off his foot. Is it a live ball? Cleveland thinks it is. And they will celebrate. Easton Mascarenas Arnold.
Is an interception. 1st down, Cleveland.
Now, what I saw is Dupree, the receiver, he started to turn and block. He didn't even know the ball was coming his way. He saw Morton get outside of the pocket. He thought he might be taking off, so he kind of gave up on the play. See him start to block there, and you called it right off the lower calf, like his foot, up into the air, and the Browns get a big turnover, which has been an area over the last 3 years that's been a real Achilles heel. They're minus 38 in the last 3 years in turnover margin.
Speaking of Achilles heel,
right there.
There you go. Visual proof. From the 31-yard line, Browns now 1st down, waning seconds of the 1st quarter. And a whistle here. So Carl Cheffers was going to be the referee tonight.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
But instead, Carl's going to be upstairs, and taking his spot is the son of Walt Anderson, who was on the crew, Derek Anderson. So he's getting up. You like the coordinators now. They get to call plays. Carl says, hey, listen, why don't you take the game tonight?
Get some reps.
Absolutely. From the 36-yard line, final play of the quarter is Amani Marshall picking up 3. And that will take us to play pinball.
No.
Okay.
No.
Me neither. You still love it.
Well, back in the day.
Yeah. Deep drop here. Gabriel over the middle. Finds the open man. Outside the 30. And pushed back from that spot is Devon Booth, rookie out of Mississippi State.
A couple things we're seeing is not just Gabriel executing well, but the offensive line doing a pretty good job as well, giving him time to be able to work through his progressions. Kind of bouncing around there. Worked around, maybe eventually found his 3rd and 4th target. See what he does here on 3rd down and see if New England dials up some pressure. Try to get him out of this rhythm he's been playing with. 8 and 9 so far, you see there.
And 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 8.
Hey, 49 alert on. 49.
And stop for no gain. Normally quarterback competitions are, Watson against Sanders, but who's going to be number 3? And you're seeing what Gabriel can do tonight. And then we're going to take a look. sooner than later at Kalen Green, a fantastic athlete who, of course, had everybody crazy at the combine.
Yeah, I mean, he is a uberly talented and athletic young guy, 6th rounder, 6'6", 230, will get the second half. And again, much like Dylan Gabriel, has had to get mental reps to try to get comfortable and familiar with this offense.
47-yard attempt here. Andre Schmidt will be their regular season kicker, and that kick squeezes its way through the left upright. 3 more for Cleveland. Scores 20-7. Well, we talked about it at the Open. It's been the big story here in Cleveland, and there is Deshaun Watson. And most everybody who follows football knows that here's a guy who was the belle of the ball. He was the guy in Houston when he came in as a rookie. They loved him. And he played great for them. And then, of course, it all got turned around. And here he is now, and a chance to save a career that right now looks like it's bottomed out, but he's got a chance to bounce back. We'll see.
He does, and he's got a new system and a lot of players that are very talented around him at receiver, running back, and tight end. I think the thing that a lot of people talked about was the press conference and how the fans were booing him, and he kind of lost his cool after that game against Buffalo. If you put yourself on the field and you think about you're in your home stadium, and obviously it's been a disaster, but you could see how a guy could lose his cool and say something like that. But it's out of his system. I think you'll never see him talk about that again. But I think at the same time, he's got to go out and execute. I mean, that's what it comes down to in the NFL. I mean, he has not played winning football since he's been in Cleveland. It's been a disaster. But moving forward, he's worked 22 months to get back into this position. He could have taken his money and just not come back. Something drove him to come back to want to play again. And he's here at 30 years old. See what he can do.
Yeah, a couple of Achilles.
College at Clemson, whether it's Dabo Swinney, his wife Kathleen, any of his teammates, anybody at Houston early in his career. I mean, that's really the guy that everybody knew. That's why when that news broke, everybody was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Everybody was kind of surprised. But I don't know. I'm a guy that believes in everybody deserves second opportunities, and I know that this has been a disaster, one of the worst trades maybe in the history of the NFL. But he's still a 30-year-old, and at one point was viewed as one of the top quarterbacks in the league with 72 career starts. And we'll see what he can do in Todd Monken's offense.
Coming out the side door this time is Morton, and he'll pick up the first down. On a 2nd and 9, he scampers for a total of 14.
Just one last thing about it. Like, no matter who's the quarterback, I mean, let's say it's Deshaun. You look at Fannin at tight end, Junkins in the backfield, these rookies, Concepcion and Boston at receiver. There's an abundance of young talent around the quarterback position. But they are minus 38 in turnover margin over the last 3 years. They just got to play smart football on the offensive side and rely on the defense to keep them in every game and just not lose it on the offensive side.
On first down, Pitt in the backfield, fighting his way from a gain of what would have been 1 to about 6 or 7. Second down now. A closer look now at Morton. Rookie out of Texas Tech. He was the 234th pick in the draft, so that meant he went in the 7th round. 26 wins as a starting quarterback down at Texas Tech. He's older than Drake May, but not quite as experienced, at least professionally. 2nd and 4. Off the fake, deep drop, flushed out, throws, caught on the run. And that is Tanner Arkin, who is a rookie out of Illinois, short of the first.
One thing about Baron Morton is not only the numbers he put up there, but when he got to Texas Tech, they were a program that was, 6-7 wins, kind of their normal year. And he was a part of that team when they transitioned to becoming a team that is starting to win 11 and 12 and trying to get to a playoff spot. And he engineered that attitude in 36 career starts in Lubbock, Texas. So he's got a lot of moxie. Kind of understands how to play the position. That's why they went out and drafted him late in the draft last spring.
Jamal Hasty picks up the first down.
And think about this: his entire high school career in Texas and in college never was in a huddle. never was in a huddle. He's looking to the sideline like a lot of the college and high school offense, looking at 3 or 4 signs, Daffy Duck and, you know, Bugs Bunny or whatever. That's how they call their plays. And he never did a cadence. It was ready, ready, clap. That's all he's ever done.
Never saw Mighty Mouse? First down, wide open inside the 25. Big gainer there. Pass is caught by Kyle Dixon, rookie out of Culver Stockton. Kaylee, what you got?
Well, guys, Baron Morton told us he feels right at home being coached by Mike Vrabel because his new head coach reminded him of his high school coach, also known as his dad, James. He said both coaches are hard on their players, but it brings out the best in them. Baron said the most important lesson his dad drilled into him: don't make the same mistake twice. Those are words to live by in Vrabel's book. And guys, unlike the NFL, there were limits to how hard his high school coach could push him.
Sure.
Forced by Baron's mom, Sunny. After one tough loss, she went full mama bear mode and made dad sleep in his truck.
West Texas high school football, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this. I think Josh McDaniels, as the offensive coordinator, play caller, you know, he played for his dad in high school here in this area in Camp McKinley. There's the mom of Baron Morton right there. And Josh McDaniels played for his dad, Tom, and he understands what it's like to play for your dad in high school and how, again, there's something different about a kid that plays for his dad in high school.
Overthrown. Gennaro is open down the sideline. Couldn't connect. 3rd down and 10.
But imagine McDaniels inheriting a guy that's been in no huddle and shotgun his entire career. And Josh prides himself. There's his father right there. And, you know, Josh prides himself on snap count, cadence, under center. And so it's been a massive transition for Baron Morton to try to adjust to the McDaniels system.
Imagine mom making dad sleep in the truck. 3rd and 10. Gets it away, caught. Can he pick up the first down? No. Tajon Palmer, first-year guy out of UAB.
When you don't ever call a play in a huddle, like it's hard to imagine that. Now he said a play call is 7 words or 10 words, and he said he spent the entire spring trying to understand how to call the plays, so by the time he got to camp, he wouldn't be thinking about it.
Here's the virtual measurement. I think this works great in baseball. I love it in baseball. Baseball gets it done in about 2 shy with a naked eye, but who knows?
How you calling down to get this measurement? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to find somebody who has any clue what's going on here. Well, it's not Anderson's fault. Derek, who's refereeing tonight, Mike is basically saying, "Hey, come on, we saw it." We could have done 3 commercials.
It is short. 4th down.
Short by what? Huh? I think they just wanted to practice getting that in.
It's preseason. Everybody needs rest.
Very. 4th and 1. Going for it from the 14-yard line. Hand the ball off and plowing his way. Hassan Haskins for a first down.
That's a good surge up front. There's some good movement there, but watch 60, the right guard, pick it up. Nice job of being able to deal with that penetration. Gives Haskins, who's one of the more physical.
From the 13. Rounds up by 13. Fake, looking. Down he goes. 16-yard line. Runs out of time. Corday Signor comes in for the sack.
You know, ideally, in the NFL, this is where he's got to feel comfortable in making this throw right here. In the NFL, that's NFL open. And as he gets more and more reps, then he's going to find an opportunity to be able to get that ball out quickly. Started to his right, he was comfortable, but he just got to rip that right when he comes back to the backside. He's got to rip that, and that would have been a touchdown.
Little injury timeout here. James Hudson III, backup right guard for the New England Patriots, and that'll stop play momentarily. This drive, the 12th play is coming up, 2nd and 13.
Here's Rudy, or Mike Rutenberg, the defensive coordinator for the Browns, taking over for Jim Schwartz. He was down in Atlanta last year with Jeff Ulbrich as kind of that pass game coordinator. He's very excited to have this opportunity as a first-time defensive coordinator. And I think it was interesting talking to him. He said, the first 3 or 4 weeks on the job, there's so many guys that stayed over on this staff outside of Jim Schwartz that he wanted to hear about that system that they ran so successfully these last few years. And then he spent the next 3 or 4 weeks talking to them about his scheme, and they just kind of melted the two together.
On 2nd and 13, pass caught at the 10. Schwartz was very much in the mix to become the head coach after Stefanski went down to Atlanta. And Jim, very disappointed, decided, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think he's been a head coach in the past back in Detroit, and
right.
He's felt that after the work that he did as a defensive coordinator, the success they had on that side of the ball, is he was going to get that opportunity. And when he didn't, you're right. I think he decided to take this year off and come back in 2027 somewhere. He'll surface somewhere.
3rd down and 7. Pass caught and out of bounds, about 4 yards shy of the first down, is Hasty. I mean, it's unbelievable. Around the league, I think there were 21 new offensive coordinators this year, 21 out of 32. Wow. And 14 defensive coordinators and 10 new head coaches.
Wow. Go back to your time, going back to the 80s and 90s, early 2000s.
I thought you were going to say the 50s and 60s. Come on now.
No, I'm just saying. Like that, you imagine saying that back with Dan Dierdorf and the boys?
Never.
I would have said that.
It's a brand new world. 26-yard attempt here for Borregales to try to tack on 3, which he does.
Not Frank as a player. Frank and you in the booth.
But
little post-game party.
Got to keep fresh, right?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Yeah. You guys met in, you said middle school.
10th grade.
10th grade, okay.
Early high school. Wow. Corley runs Thursday night in August.
In a preseason game.
You got it.
Trying to figure out who's on the field. Here we go.
Exactly right. That pass is overthrown, and incomplete. A flag is down. Cole Wilson, the intended receiver.
Well, Dylan Gabriel has had about as good of a start as he could have dreamed of tonight, with 4 series, 2 touchdowns, and 2 field goals. We got a roughing the passer that's going to give them a first down here to keep this drive alive.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 99, defense. Low hit on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
To try to get in there, and obviously anytime you come in low, referee are all over that. Makes the right call.
So 1st and 10. 6:03 left in the first half. Marshall, 2nd down.
Can't say it enough for people that are just maybe tuned in and you want to watch some football, so you're watching a little preseason football. Dylan Gabriel has had to get mental reps throughout all of camp. Hasn't gotten a lot of physical reps. It's been all about Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Todd Monken telling us we just didn't have time. We decided predetermined that we were going to give Shedeur a chance to battle Watson, and he's had to sit back and watch. But you would not know that by watching Gabriel in his 2nd year in the NFL with the Browns.
2nd and 8. Here he goes again on the money. 1st and goal. Cole Wilson with that grab.
I did a lot of his games in college, and this isn't really shocking to me. This is really who he was.
17-yard line. Take 2. From the 17. Good ball handling. Pass caught. Ryan makes the grab. He looks like a guy who's been in the league 4, 5, 6 years.
And I think the big thing is he's comfortable. He's making good decisions. He's got great awareness, composed. He looks incredibly well prepared for a guy that hadn't played a lot. There's Shedeur. There's, of course, Deshaun. But I think he'd be the first one to tell you, these backup offensive linemen are fighting for a spot and trying to prove to the coaches they belong on this roster. They've done a hell of a job themselves in giving him time to throw, and he's been back there, whether it's boots, nakeds, or throwing from the pocket off a play action.
2nd and 10. Protected well. Fires. Caught. Touchdown. Flores is third.
What is he doing?
4th in 2 weeks, 16 yards, and 6 points.
The local product. Everybody made a big deal last week when he played Buffalo. He's from Menor High School here in Cleveland. Let's see if he got his hands underneath it.
Yep, I think so. We're looking at Terry.
Terry, you hop in here, bud.
Yep.
So
Get a preseason
Kirk,
rep.
it does look like it hits the ground at some point. He got control first, but then he...
Ball hit the ground prior to the receiver gaining possession. It is an incomplete pass.
Again, if you're not familiar with the story, we said that Flory is a local product here, Menor High School, right here in Cleveland, went to Kent State, scored the touchdown against Buffalo. Everybody was excited for him. Forgot about the game ball. One of his teammates, Tyler Wallace, saved it for him. And then he comes in tonight for an encore. 2 touchdowns already tonight from Dylan Gabriel, almost a third until Terry took it off the board and we decided not to give him the touchdown.
Well, don't blame Terry. Terry didn't take it off the board. Terry, you're still perfect. 3rd down and 9. Blitz, gets it away, caught on the run, and he keeps it, the clock going on another pass to Larmadan, and that will set up a...
It's only 5'11", hasn't played a lot of football the whole camp, but composed once again and makes a very nice throw for that first down.
11 of 13, 179 yards. Looking for his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. Checks it down, and it's incomplete over the top to Larmadan. Again, the intended receiver's already caught 3 tonight for 43 yards.
He wanted to make that throw to his tight end who was in motion there. Ryan came off of him, and then a smart throw on 1st and goal. Put it up there where your receiver can either make a play on it or it's incomplete. You come back ready to play here on 2nd and goal. Todd Monken is going to play. Josh McDaniels is not. Todd Monken, again, just wants to get more and more reps with this offense as he gets ready for his first year as a head coach.
To the outside. Can he escape? No, he cannot. Out of bounds he goes, 309. Mike Brown pushed him out. 3rd and goal.
I think this is an example for a lot of quarterbacks that are around in the NFL that maybe don't get a lot of reps, but they're fighting for a roster spot in that 3rd preseason game. They're getting a lot of mental reps. They don't get a chance to actually physically get out there and get reps and get a chance to show what they can do. And you get into a game like this, you really find out who's getting those mental reps and taking advantage of that with film, mental reps when you're standing on the sideline watching. Gabriel clearly has done his work to put himself in a spot tonight to play well.
From the 7, Gabriel caught inside the 5 to the end zone. Amani Marshall for the touchdown.
That's just man to man. The linebacker late in getting out there. Watch him right here, try to stay with
the extra point. Gabriel telling us yesterday, if nothing else, I just want to put something good on tape. Dylan, you have. He's put a lot of good stuff on tape. Son Haskins will take it up to the 30. Dwayne Kuiper.
Oh, I remember Dwayne Kuiper.
Long-time second baseman. Yeah. He's been the Giants announcer, the San Francisco Giants, for a ton of years. He hits a home run. And, of course, Zelig was there to call it with the great Bill White, who was the former, St. Louis Cardinal and at one point the president of the National League.
Okay.
Can you imagine, like 4,000 people?
One home run in his
one home run.
Career.
Right. And I named every person in the crowd that night. That's how small it was. Individually.
What were you guys doing there for Monday Night Baseball?
That's a very good question.
Who made that call?
It was the B game, so we weren't the A game. And he hit the home run off Steve Stone. So Kuiper's been the Giants announcer in San Fran for 3 decades. And Stoney has been 41 years. White Sox now.
White Sox, Cubs. Did he crush it, or did he just get it?
No, he hit it.
We'll give it to him.
It was a bomb. 80 oysters.
Oh, my God.
Right? And look at how slim he is.
Yeah, he's looking great. And so is far right. Far right looks like he's down to 180.
No question.
I mean, he's going to come up. They're both coming up in the second half to hang out.
They are. Fitz in the third, Witt in the fourth. Carissa will take the rest of the night off. That pass is into traffic, and it's picked off there by Donovan McMillan. A flag is down. Of course, they're going to start to celebrate the defense, but let's get the call first here.
See what the call is, but the pass rush caused this. Morton couldn't follow through on the throw.
Pass interference, number 31, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
So the second-year safety out of Pittsburgh is flagged, and they'll move the ball all over the play on the ball. Shouldn't have been a foul. 3-yard pickup here for Jermichael Hasty, second down. 27-10. Cleveland again. Each team playing its final preseason game over the next couple of days, including 3 other games going on tonight. Next action for Mike Vrabel's team will be the opener against Seattle. Second and 7.
White 80. On that high. Hey, 42. 42. 42. All right. All right. Alpha, go.
To his right, throwing, open, caught. Trying to get back to the line is Westover.
Just a little thing like him yelling out 42, 42, and I know it's very basic in the NFL to ID the Mike linebacker, but he said he never did that one time in his career at Texas Tech or in high school. So he's yelling 42, 42 and pointing that Mike. That's establishing the protection and helping the center which way to turn or which way they're going to help him out with pass protection. See there, a command to try to get. That's a good. I love to see a quarterback take control like that.
3rd and 1. Play clock 42 again is the man. And through the middle, Jermichael Hasty.
You know, you often hear coordinators talk about the operation. Todd Monken talked about going with Deshaun Watson because of the operation, being on the road.
Hey, 42, 42, 42, all right.
So you hear 42, 42, that's helping out the center, it's helping out the offensive line, potential pressure that might come, how they'll be able to pick up, how the back would need to be able to go to the left or the right with the pressure that might come. So that's just a good job of communicating. Again, at the NFL level, that's very basic, but for a rookie out of Texas Tech who's never really had to worry about that, and Josh McDaniels' system, that's just like football 101 for a rookie quarterback. Drake May started there, and you just keep stacking understanding of where you're going. I like that short yardage where he's yelling at guys and making sure they're in the right spot, too. That's, the operation of it all with a quarterback.
From the 29. Stepping up. Trying to run it. Takes it down to the 24-yard line. Clock still runs. Jenkins makes the stop. 2nd and 6. Meanwhile,
New England.
Have to be beautiful. Modell said, "To hell with you. We're going to Baltimore."
Send him out of here.
Yeah.
And explain to me how the Browns got to keep their colors and the name. It didn't go to Baltimore. You think of all these teams that leave and go somewhere else. Usually they pack up and leave, and everything goes with them.
Well, the Browns were an iconic franchise, and the league, as we have a 1st and 10 here, trying to get out of bounds to stop the clock, and he doesn't so. Will they take a timeout here on 2nd down? And they do. Westover. So when the league wasn't very happy about it, you're taking an iconic franchise, they're moving to Baltimore, they don't get a stadium, and the league said, okay, but you're not going to have the name Browns, you're not going to have the team colors, and you are going to keep the records of the old Browns. So Jimmy Brown is still all over the record book, obviously, people like that. They moved to Baltimore. They had to rename the team the Ravens. And, of course, Art Modell was the most hated man in Northeast Ohio for a long, long time. Sure. The other interesting thing about that, Belichick was the coach. Yep. And we did a game here on Monday Night Football in 1995, and they'd already announced in the middle of the season they're going. And that
Boo
crowd,
Birds out that night?
that crowd was, shall we say, unruly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a incredible football community, Northeast Ohio, and I feel bad since they built this stadium and the Browns came back, 3 winning seasons.
Right. Second, and that's off the fingertips of the intended receiver. And they've only won 1 postseason game. Kevin Stefanski was the coach. They beat Pittsburgh in the 2020 season, and Stefanski had COVID and had to watch the game from his basement. And he forgot to put it on pause at one point, and he hears the kids upstairs screaming and carrying on and knows something great has happened, but he's waiting for it to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
But they had a 28-0 lead at the end of the first quarter in that game in Pittsburgh, and it got a little nervous for Cleveland in the second half, but they held on.
I watched it. Yeah, I remember it.
3rd down and 6. Rolling out of the pocket. Thrown in the end zone into traffic. Flag is down. Incomplete.
It's going to be a holding call on New England. Like Crown over the right tackle, 68. I just can't believe they've had 3 winning seasons. In their last division title, you got to go all the way back to Bernie Kosar in 1989.
He's declined.
And again, I would argue that this is as good of a football town as there is.
No question.
They are starving for a winner here.
Well, it was once called the Factory of Sadness. So the old stadium, this stadium could be and they just hope in Brook Park it'll bring them a lot of happiness.
Brand new start.
Yep, brand new start.
Of course, in the 80s, the drive, the fumble.
Yep,
Remember
of course.
Against Denver.
Ernest Biner always having a great game and a great season. You're looking at 2 teams since 1999. The Patriots have the best record in the league, and the Browns have the worst.
Yeah.
On 4th down, Borregales' kick is good. Tack on 3, 7 ticks left in the half.
Brian, they have had a horrendous September over the last 4 or 5 years, trying to keep Joe Burrow healthy.
This will be a 109-yard run back if he goes all the way, but he comes up a little bit short, you might say, for 2 ticks. All moot right now, as is the first half. It ends this way. And that's the way we will go, or they will go to the locker room, and we're waiting for Kaylee Whitworth in the 4th. Kickoff is taken inside the 10. Haskins up to the 26-yard line moments ago. Kaylee with Todd Munkin.
Well, Todd, despite a lack of reps for Dylan Gabriel through camp, 5 for 5 on scoring drives. What's impressed you?
Well, I'll get back to Dylan, but I just want to wish Al and Linda a happiest 60th anniversary. How cool is that? I mean, to find your soulmate, the love of your life, 60 years. Congratulations, Al and Linda. Now Dylan Gabriel. What a great half. Happy for him. Guys played well around him. Certainly took advantage of his opportunity.
Thank you so much, Todd.
You bet.
Oh, Todd.
Oh, that was great.
That was very cool. So Todd he's 60 years old.
Right.
He was in the crib and we're walking down the aisle.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, that was very cool, man. Thank you.
First thing on his mind.
Oh,
We'll get to Dylan Gabriel and his 5 series and 5 points, 5 touchdowns, or whatever. He's to that in a second.
Yeah. Probably done for the night. What a night for him. Start now from the 41-yard line. Pass is caught. Short pass to the side of the first. DeGennaro making the grab. Aaron Morton right in the first half. He was 8 of 12, so now he's thrown 9 out of 13 complete, but only for 60 yards.
Yeah, and again, one thing about what he's being put into position to do is just learning every single day. You know, being out there, changing from the college game, a lot of gun to under center, snap count.
3rd and 1, fighting. See where they spot it here. Haskins again. Don't tell me we have another virtual measurement. Nope. First down. They've had enough of the virtual measurements.
Yeah, that one was clearly a first down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed, you know, we kind of get caught up in the starters and thinking about, you know, these teams in 2 weeks from now, but you know, the great teams build depth. And how do you build depth? You know, you do it in camp, and you do it in games like this.
Deep drop, look out. Loses his balance and he's down. Knee down, he got touched there. Zard with the sack. Easiest one he'll ever get. Second down.
Yeah, he does a good job just using his hands. Watch how quick he gets off the ball. Usually he wins right at the line of scrimmage and then just got in there so quickly that Morton just didn't have a chance.
Hey, 40.
Second down and 20. Couple of sacks now for Cleveland. Run a draw. A lot of space. Gets a lot of that yardage back after the sack. It's Hasty. Picks up 11.
Yeah,
Third and 9.
And Hasty is such a different back from what they have to work with tonight with Lan Larison, Jam Miller, Hassan Haskins, who we've seen. Hasty still at this point in his career still has that juice to get north and south. You saw it there on that play. Gives him a chance here now on 3rd and 9.
There's your top two backs. Ramondre Stevenson, Treon Henderson with the night off. They'll be 1-2 when the season begins in Seattle. 3rd and 9, knocked down. Nice defense there on that play to break it up.
And Morton loved to have that one back. He went to a double slant there to his right. See the defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg. Rudy is fired up with his defensive effort. But that one, Morton, he's going to put that one on himself. Just threw that ball behind his receiver, who actually had a step on the defender. Just didn't give him much of a chance trying to put that ball out in front.
Jeremiah McClendon, rookie out of Southern Illinois. In the punt now, Matt Hawk. So Bryce Barringer is not healthy enough to punt tonight, so they brought Hawk in to at least take the job in this game. Oh, look out, baby. Are they going to rule him outside the goal line? Yes, they do. Yep, come in. Forward progress is stopped at the 1-yard line. In the field of play, that was Larva Dan, who's been all over the place tonight. Stopped there by Hutchins. Rookie. And a guy who just lit up the Indianapolis Stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium, during the combine. He was off the charts.
6'6", 230 pounds, ran a 4.36. I mean, he's just one of those guys that just shows up and everybody's in awe of his athletic ability. But he'll be the first one to tell you he's got to improve as a passer, become more consistent. But yeah, just a great athlete. And after the way Dylan Gabriel played in that first half, you know, he doesn't want to just go out here and hand the ball off. They're both fighting for a job. He's got to come out here and play well himself.
Green finished up at Arkansas after starting at Boise State, 2nd and 6. Keep it on the ground. They get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So let's go talk about Drake May here first. Don't see him obviously tonight, but what do you think? I mean, he was the leading candidate for MVP probably on December the 1st, losing out barely to Stafford.
Yeah, what a masterful job by the Patriots organization to bring Josh McDaniels back, to insert him into that offense, that system. He's a really smart guy, and to surround him with the right pieces as well. They did such a good job with the infrastructure around Drake May, and he really took it and ran with it. Excited to see what he does. 2nd year in this offense. I was in this offense with Bill O'Brien in Houston, and the more you're in it, the more you learn, and you can attack a defense. So he's just going to continue to get better and better.
Green running away. He's got a lot of speed. Very close to a first down.
Not to mention, not just his 2nd year, but you bring in A.J. Brown. Dobbs comes over from Green Bay. I mean, you're looking at a lot of different pieces. Imagine them going to that 3-by-1 and putting A.J. Brown into the boundary and forcing the defense to either put a safety over the top, which is going to open up Dobbs in the field, or you're going to play it straight with single high, and now you get basically Josh McDaniels saying, it's one-on-one. We're going to give it to A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and we're going to get the best version of A.J. Brown, too, right? It's going to be a honeymoon this first year. Al, I know you know a little bit about honeymoons 60-some years ago. But A.J. Brown is a guy that if it's one-on-one, he's going to win. If it's contested, he's going to make the catch. And so this is going to add another dimension to their offense this year.
Meanwhile, they just come up short on a 3rd down play, so they're forced to punt. They want Green to have the first series of his career with a 4th down at the 11-yard line.
Right.
No, thank you. You mentioned Bill O'Brien, which is interesting. He was there, of course, during the Brady years. So is a lot of that offense still in place with McDaniels now?
It is. A lot of it's still in place with McDaniels. And, you know, what it is, it relies a lot on the quarterback. The quarterback, less and less in these NFL offenses, is setting protections. It's in charge of everything. And this is one of those offenses that still does that. It puts a lot on the quarterback.
He's in the right play.
Yeah. So Todd Monken gets his first head coaching job at age 60. So you played for him.
I did.
Where?
I played for him in Tampa. Right. So the first game that Todd Monken ever, a good game.
Wow.
Good game, yeah.
What'd you do the next week?
400 again.
No.
75-yard touchdown pass on the first play against the Eagles.
Oh, come on.
You want to keep going? What I do the next game?
Yeah, what'd you do then?
400 the next game.
Oh, come on.
What I do the next game, I got benched at halftime, Al.
What?
How? How's that possible?
That's called my career.
Wait a minute. Who was the head coach?
Dirk Cutter.
At that point.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
How'd you handle that?
Great. You know, I played about 8 or 9 games that year, so it was all good.
Who replaced you?
Jameis Winston was the starter. He was suspended for the first 3 games of that season.
Oh, so all you did, you throw for 1,200 yards and you're back on the bench? That's crazy. So meanwhile, that's Morton. I want to talk to you about, and by the way, we go to a commercial, you're sticking around. You're sticking around. We have to talk about Deshaun Watson. You are a very sagacious man. And you went to Harvard, so I assume you know what sagacious means. Right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So there are a lot of quarterbacks who have talked to you, sought your counsel, and you have become like a life coach to some of these guys. If you were a life coach to Deshaun Watson and he wanted some advice right now with all that's going on in his world, you can think about that, but he's going to take a commercial break here and tell me how you would talk to him. Look at that perfect punt. Perfect. And they'll put it down at the 2-yard line. All right, you mull that one over. Okay.
Gotcha. Yep.
Are you mulling?
I'm mulling right now, Al.
You'll be back.
On those guys in the locker room, he knows this is his last chance. If this thing doesn't work out at the beginning of the season here, he's going to be out of the NFL. He's going to be done with football. So I think for him, I would say you got to enjoy it. You got to lean on your brothers in the locker room and go out there and have fun.
I think I would add to that. This guy already has his money. He had 22 months to come back from a second Achilles surgery. What is your why? You know, what made you want to come back? It wasn't the money. What made you want to come back? Whatever that is, whatever motivated you to work so hard for 22 months to come back into this spot, focus on that.
Right. Green running around, shows that speed.
Wow.
Yeah, he's dynamic.
Yeah, you saw him at the combine. Whoa.
Kind of reminds you of Terrell Pryor, you know, like a Terrell Pryor athlete. And when he gets out, what he can do.
A 3.5-foot vertical jump at the combine. Here he is again throwing, finds the open man, and that will be, for the moment, a first down, and may have given it up. We'll find out for you.
Everything we've heard, what you just said about being in the locker room and talking to your teammates, every single person we talked to this week, whether it was a coach or whether it was a player, that's what they talked about, was how he's encouraging guys. You know, when they're doing drills, a 2-minute drill, he's in command, he's talking to the offensive line, he's patting them on the back, he's getting them going. So I think he really is, again, from everything we hear, he is pouring in. That moment he had, I almost think about it. Imagine if you were on that field and after working hard to come back from the first Achilles, you get booed or cheered that you're hurt. You can understand how he maybe lost his cool for a moment, but he got that out of his system. Now it's just about, okay, that's over, go play. Just go play ball. And I think that's his mindset at this point.
Before we let you go, you can't wait to get out of here right now, right?
I'm loving this out.
Shedeur Sanders. Talk to me about Shedeur and what you see so far.
Yeah, you know, Shedeur is going to have to make some progress. He's going to make a jump from his first year to his second year, and I actually think we've seen it a little bit in the preseason. I thought we saw it last year in the Pittsburgh game at the end of the year. Just being able to run a play like it's called and like it's supposed to be run. Go through your progression, listen to your feet, get the ball out with some anticipation, with some accuracy. Those are the things that Todd Monken's looking for.
There's a fumble. Was he down? Apparently the ball is alive, but they recover it.
But I also think this is set up here for Shedeur. I mean, if Deshaun, once he fails, Shedor's going to jump into this thing, and he's going to be the guy, and this city is going to be behind him.
Yeah. So you think he'll fail?
Yeah, and it's going to happen. I mean, Shedor's playing this year. I think all three of these guys. I think Gabriel's going to have a chance to play as well. But this is such a young roster with a lot of changing parts and a lot of new guys, so they're going to struggle on offense this year.
First down from the 44-yard line. One other thing. Your son wants to become a broadcaster, right?
Yeah.
And his buddies in the hotel today. If I screw up any more tonight, can he come in and do the fourth quarter?
He would, Al. He would do that for you.
That's great.
Well, thank you.
Great family. How many children do you have?
7 children.
7 kids.
Yeah, 19 to 7 years old. So we got quite the range. 3 boys, 4 girls.
You married.
You got it all covered.
We got it all covered. Vrabel offered me a flight on the plane tomorrow. I'm dropping my son off at Harvard for his sophomore year.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm not taking it, though. I'm not taking Vrabel up on it.
Oh, come on. Why not?
Because I'd probably have to listen to him tell me about his playing career for 2 hours.
Anyway, my man, you were great. You got us almost through the end of the third quarter. Elucidate. You know what elucidate means, too, right?
Boy, that one. I'm not as sagacious.
Oh, you're a beauty. The great Ryan Fitzpatrick, ladies and gentlemen. The other crazy thing is, on 3rd and 5, stepping up, keeping his eyes downfield, and he will run for a first down.
Went to ASU.
Yeah, well, you know that.
Well, both my parents went to ASU, Al. They followed in your footsteps.
There you go. Yeah, and Kirk, you know this. You played 17 years. I was doing either Monday Night Football
I know where you're
or
going.
Sunday Night Football. I did. How many games?
5,000.
Did I ever have Ryan Fitzpatrick at a game? No.
You never had the privilege, Al. You never had the privilege.
We had him in a preseason game with the
St. Louis Rams. That's right.
Oh, my God. That was great. We were just reading about you every week throwing for 400 yards. Going, why didn't we do that game? That's Booth picking up a couple. Nice looking drive here, which started back at the 2-yard line.
And running the football, and we've seen a few scrambles. Right now, Taylor Green's only thrown a couple passes, 2 of 2 for 14 yards. I'm sure he's wanting more of an opportunity to get the ball downfield.
I don't think you're going to get any complaints from either sideline.
Or up here in the booth.
Yeah.
Or up here.
Tick, tick, tick.
A little over 2 minutes to play in the third. Preseason winding down. Look out. And once again, Larvadan, who's been all over the place tonight. By the way, still plenty of good seats available tonight if you look around. How can I tell you, man? Yeah, right. I'm calling
what
it
do you
like
think, George?
I'm calling it 17, 9, somewhere between there.
49-8.
3rd down and 4.
Wading tight. Oh, he's twitching. Wading tight.
To the outside. Can he get around the corner? He can. Picking up the first down.
You almost feel like, depending on what they do with that third spot, that Taylor Green gives you, at the very least, the potential of a package, in a certain down and distance. If you were to roll him in there, even though he throws the ball well enough that a defense knows, hey, he's coming in to run a zone read or some kind of run game, he could still throw the football. But, man, is he dangerous when he pulls it down and has those long strides and that speed.
Final minute of the third quarter. The 12th play of the drive, which has consumed over 7 minutes now, fighting his way forward. Yard shy is Ryan.
And one of the impressive things about him, too, just talking with some of the coaches, Mike Bajaki and Todd Monk and Matt Baker before the game, no reps. I mean, he hasn't had any reps, and they're talking about his intelligence and how he's really picked up the system and he's worked hard. And so this is a great reward for him to be able to come out here and perform like he is.
No doubt.
And look at that, 88 yards. 2nd down and 1, and they will go to the sideline. That'll take us to the third quarter. Pay your after dues now. You're on for 20 minutes. The great and good Ryan Fitzpatrick. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank
See
you.
you at the hotel.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, Kurt.
Herb Street. I want to thank Ryan Fitzpatrick, waiting for Andrew Whitworth to join us to the outside on this long drive and out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. So this drive has now consumed 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Started back at the Cleveland 2, and upcoming is the 14th play.
Right now, these guys on the edge who are trying to make a case for themselves. It was Swinson that time that lost the edge. You just got to force him with his threat and what he can do with running the football. You got to force him to be able to cut back inside or not give him that lane to the outside with that speed.
3rd and 1. Trying to make it a 1st and goal is Green.
The thing that, we always get caught up in quarterback play and the skill, but again, I just got to go back to the offensive line and how good they've looked here, whether it's been that second group or they've worked in some of the third guys. Zenner's been out there the whole game, and George Warhop, he's the offensive line coach, and Todd Monken told us when he was trying to figure out, am I going to get the job or am I not? He was in Baltimore with him, Warhop was, and one of the first hires he made was Warhop to come with him here to Cleveland. So I think he's very confident, even though they're breaking in 5 new starters this year, that they're going to come together with Warhop in command of that.
Talk to Andrew breaking a tackle. Booth. Touchdown. Got away from Kobe Minor. 8 yards to the score. What a drive as Green makes his debut. Man, you had Gabriel having a great night. Then this guy comes in, 15 plays, 98 yards. 4 out of 4 through the air for 27 yards and 54 on the ground.
Yeah, and all 3 of these backs have done a good job. LeVardan there did a nice job of blocking, so he created a one-on-one opportunity there on the edge for Booth, and he ends up winning it. I'm sure Mike Vrabel and Zach Kerr not real happy. He even said at the Kaylee walking off at halftime about the effort and the energy. That continues to be a problem here in the second half for the defense.
Have voiced their support for you, but you've acknowledged the tension that exists with your fans. What do these fans not know about you that the men behind you on the sideline do?
How much work I put in. I think just the work I come in each and every day, the opportunity that I have, being able to, come in and lead this group. And, I really just put the work in to try to come out here and win games for this city, for this organization, capable of still playing high-level football in this league. And I have that opportunity to be able to show that, and I want to be able to, do that each and every week.
So physically, athletically, describe the 30-year-old version of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I'm healthy now, 100% healthy, mentally really, really good. And I'm just ready to showcase that. So it's going to be super exciting, and a lot of plays and wins happening this year.
Thank you, Deshaun.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. 2nd down and 2. Of course, that will be, that pass is caught by Dixon. That's going to be one of the main focal points, if not the focal point, on opening day at Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think about their first 3 games, the first 2 on the road. Both of them, by the way, 1 o'clock kicks in Jacksonville in that heat and humidity, and then Tampa in the heat and humidity. You'd feel this temperature is nothing like what they're going to face in Florida. So those are 2 challenges no matter who the quarterback is.
Right.
They come back and you have Carolina, then a short week in Pittsburgh. So, you want to win all your games. That's a tough start. If you could somehow, pie in the sky, somehow you're 2-1 on that short week coming into that Pittsburgh game.
Yep.
And that's house money, because all those boos will turn into cheers pretty quickly if you start winning games.
Well, as John Madden famously said, winning is the greatest deodorant.
Right. That's a great thing.
To the outside, that pass is incomplete. So if they are to whatever they are, week 5, which is our 4th game, will be here on Prime, Pittsburgh and We had a beauty a couple of years ago too.
Oh yeah. What do you think? We've talked quite a bit about Deshaun and Cleveland. I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts on New England after last year, getting to the Super Bowl in Vrabel's first year, come back year two in the system for a lot of these guys? What are your thoughts? And they look like potentially a better team on paper than they were a year ago.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And of course, everybody said, the naysayers, they had a soft schedule. Yeah, they had an easy schedule. So did Denver. and they wound up playing Denver and might have lost that game had Bo Nix played. Who knows? Anyway, they get to the Super Bowl, shockingly. They did a great job. And then they go out and they get Brown and Dobbs and these other big-time guys.
Yeah.
So I look for them to not have a Super Bowl hangover. I don't know if they ever get it.
With Vrabel in charge as the head coach, to what he talks about a lot about your identity is critical because your culture gets tested when you go through those tough times. How do you respond? I mean, they used the Baltimore. I was talking to Zach Kern. I said, do you remember when this defense changed? Like, when did it go from being a young defense trying to find its way to? He said, I think it was the Baltimore game last year. We faced some adversity, and we came through it and found a way to win the game. And it almost taught us that even if we hit some adversity, it's okay. Like, we've proven that we can do that. And it was such a young defense. There's Zach Kerr there on the right, who took over for Terrell Williams as the defensive play caller. And of course, the DC this year did an incredible job. And they feel really good about, they lost a few pieces, but the guys that they're going to replace, I think they feel that this group could be maybe even better than they were on defense last year.
And speaking of Williams, the first down is gotten here by Marshall. Good to see him back.
Yeah.
Right? Because they had hoped that prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Tough.
Oh, yeah.
Had to back away. That's how Kerr got the job, and now he is back and
it's awesome.
Hopefully very healthy.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I would say with Terrell Williams and Zach Kerr, one of the big things that I think is underrated about this staff is the continuity. A lot of these guys have worked together for 6 or 7 years. You go back to Tennessee when Vrabel was the head coach with the Titans. He brought him back when he became the head guy in New England. So this defensive staff, a lot of these guys have been around and been together. And I think that helps when it comes to getting the same message across to the entire defense.
To the outside, some room to roam. Looks for that marker to pick up the first. Very close. Green.
There's Kevin Byard right there, who came over from Chicago as a free agent. He'll be teamed up with Craig Woodson on the back end. You think about Christian Gonzalez. You got Marcus Jones in the slot.
Long-term contract.
Don't you feel like that's imminent? Like I feel like that's gonna. Yeah,
I would think.
With Witherspoon getting his deal, same agent, just feels like that's gonna happen soon.
Well, the minute you see somebody and your agent's got that guy, you're going,
it's coming.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. And boy, has he proven what he's all about in 3 years. This will be his 4th year out of Oregon. But yeah, like I said, he and Davis and Jones on the backside is. And you move up front with Elijah Ponder in his 2nd year, Harold Landry. I mean, all around it. It's a good group.
Not a lot of holes, even though, Vrabel was talking about depth.
Yeah.
But that's an issue for every team.
I've never seen a team take more pride in undrafted free agents than the New England Patriots, going back to Bill Belichick.
Sure.
And that continues with Vrabel. And I asked Zach Kerr about that. I said, you guys find this, every year you find smart, dependable, football savvy guys. He goes, that's the head man. He goes, I think it has something to do with his first 4 years in Pittsburgh. Before he went to New England, he didn't play. He didn't start. And it created a chip on his shoulder. So he's always looking for those guys. He calls them street rats. Like those guys that want to just they love the game and they want an opportunity. They play with great hunger. And with that chip on their shoulder. Look at that.
First down here. Yep.
That's the draft picks that they have. And they're as good as anybody getting into that 5th, 6th, and 7th round. And like I said, the undrafted free agents, a lot of these guys, they make the roster and they do create that depth.
Elliott Wolf.
Yeah, outstanding.
Drafting, right? Of course, some pretty good heritage there as well. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ron, there he is. And, of course, Robert Kraft, you think about it, Robert Kraft is going into his 4th decade as the owner of this team.
Crazy.
Bought in 1995.
And think about the consistency. Wouldn't you put them up there with about anybody?
For sure.
I mean, maybe in sports.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the consistency of losing players, losing coaches.
What teams have 2-decade runs like that? Name one.
Can't find it
in any sport. I mean, the Cowboys back in the 70s, the Steelers obviously in that one decade of the 70s when they won all 4 of their Super Bowls. 49ers for about a decade and a third. But 2 decades?
But what I'm always amazed at, if you were looking for the most talented roster all those years, I don't think, I mean, they got the quarterback, right? All those years. But they find guys that just kind of fit roles.
Right.
And take pride in that role, whether it's special teams or it's being a backup tackle or whatever it is, and they don't drop off when they lose a main player.
Once in a while, they'll take a star, and he becomes even better.
Right,
Randy Moss.
Yeah. I just think they look for intelligent football players who love
October something.
Early October.
So we'll be back in October.
But what I was going to say is, McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers going up against this Cleveland defense, and Myles Garrett now, where Witt used to play with the Los Angeles Rams. We're all excited to see what he's going to be able to do there. But Rudy's got Jared Verse, and I had a chance to talk to him on the field before the game. And of course, he loved the Rams. He loved his time there. But I'll tell you, he's kind of giddy about being in a football town that's really hungry and about becoming kind of an alpha. With the Rams, he was a young guy that was kind of earning his way. He comes over to Cleveland, especially with Garrett going to L.A., and I think he realizes that people are going to be counting on him not just to be able to get to the quarterback, but to be able to provide some leadership. And he said, man, we're about to go off this year. So it'll be exciting to see what he can do and see this city really embrace his energy and the way his style of play.
Well, that's one way to look at it, and it's the right way for him, at least in his mind. The other thing is you're leaving a team that now is probably the favorite to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But he's going to, I think who wouldn't want to be in L.A., right, with what they're doing? But at the same time, he's got to try to look at it a very positive way where he is now.
So the injured Brown, injury timeout here is Logan Fano. That's his brother, who's also on the team.
Spencer.
Yep. And he's up and needs some assistance off the field. Looking better now.
Busting chops.
Mm-hmm. What's life all about if you can't bust chops?
Yeah, you got it.
Come on. First down. And about a 9.5-yard gain here to Kyle Dixon.
Morton's had some moments tonight. He's shown you what he's capable of doing. And again, I think there's such an adjustment. And I mean, it's right before our eyes. You could see that the game moves very, very fast for him. Like any rookie quarterback, he's learning every single rep. But he's had a couple picks. Hadn't been able to really get the ball downfield much.
We've had so much going on here tonight. Get another call here. I want to apologize to Kyle Dixon's family because while we were doing all this chazarai, he's caught 8 balls tonight.
8 for 71.
False start. Number 67, offense. The clock was running. This foul requires a 10-second subtraction. Please set the clock to 45. Second down.
Okay, by us.
Yeah, Braves isn't happy about that.
Seconds.
So Mike coaching it right to the end. Right to the end of the final preseason game. And that'll keep the clock running. First down. Nice move there. C.J. Dupre to the 43. Under a half minute now. So Todd Monken will take his team 2 weeks from Sunday down to Florida, down to Jacksonville, and open up the 2026 regular season. Look out. Comes out the back door, just flings it out of bounds.
Thank goodness we're going to get one more shot here.
Please. Yeah. Miracles do happen.
Oh, that's what I heard.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, I never asked you. Would you put what happened in the Olympics this year against Canada? Is it? I know it's modern version, But is it in that same stratosphere?
Very, very different. Remember,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The world
College
was
kids, Soviet
Cold
Union.
War.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Huge upset.
Huge.
So, yeah. Huge.
Biggest of all time. Right?
Pretty big.
I mean, Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
That was 43-1. This may have been 100-1. Yep. Anyway,